This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Yeah, try and stop the West Coast fever. They're looking down the barrel of going back to back.
Yeah.
Let's hope they can do that. It's the Suncorp Super Netball season. You can grab your West Coast fever tickets from Ticketek. They take on the Melbourne Vixens Saturday, March 18. We just heard that. Now, moving on to other sports straight up. Novak Djokovic has had to step down from the Indian Wells tournament or withdraw from it because of his COVID status. It's still the same in America.
No.
Yep.
So I was surprised that they wouldn't let him in. And I know the date's about to change, isn't it? It's like the 13th or something.
They're not 100% if it's going to change before August, Nath.
Yes,
I was
before
under
the
belief.
US Open.
Before the US Open, which is end of.
Yeah, but like, so it's pretty. I like it. I just like it. I like it.
I think you like it because more so for him.
I do. Yeah, for someone
Yes.
else, I wouldn't like it for them.
No.
I was just like, you know what? Sucked in. I still have that against it. I don't know what it is.
I think there's a lot of people in your court,
Yeah.
to be honest. I really do. But he missed last year's US Open, as we know.
Yes.
And the Australian Open. And he's already in front. So
Yes.
he possibly could end up being 25 Grand Slam titles under his belt, 26 by the time he retires.
And
then it's undeniably he's the best ever.
And it could have been more because he's missed 2 US Opens, and an Australian Open. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, it's
Don't
his
like it,
choice,
though.
so he can continue down that pathway. Steve Smith will captain the Australian cricket team again because of Pat Cummins' mum is really, really ill.
Yes.
And
She's it's end of life for her.
it's
so
end
she's
of
in
life,
palliative
which is
care.
really,
yeah.
which is really
It's
horrible.
a horrible thing for any child to have to go through.
But as I said the other day, I just seeing the way Steve Smith captained the team the other day, it seems like he has got a really good vision of how he wants the team to play and being able to, well, given he's not a bowler, he's able to assess different things that are happening in a game and make the adjustments quickly.
But he says he doesn't want the full-time gig. That's
I
what he
wonder
said
why.
over the weekend. Yeah,
Yeah, I wonder
He's
why.
like, no, my full-time captaining days are behind me. Is what he said. Yeah.
I hear it's because he keeps on like coming to the table with this sandpaper plan, and everyone's like, "Nah, it's a bad idea." And it's like, "Are you serious?" And like, you know, if your good ideas aren't heard, why take the position?
Yeah,
That's a really
true.
good point. And finally, Coburn City. They're a soccer club here in WA. They're amalgamated, or they're connected with Spearwood Dalmatics.
Spearmint milk.
I love a spearmint milk. $1.90, by the way, at Woolworths.
When's the last time you had a spearmint milk?
Saw it yesterday. No, I bought some for the kids.
What?
You get
for the kids?
Yeah, no, I did, 100%. I bought a
She's such
spearmint
a
one
liar.
and a strawberry one. It was $1.90. I thought, that's a bargain. Got to chuck it in the basket.
When's the last time you...
I'm not a milk drinker.
I know, but
so
I
I don't think I've ever had a spearmint milk.
spearmint milk?
Never. But I don't drink chocolate milk or anything, so I've just never
When's the
liked
last
it.
time you had a spearmint milk, do you think? Like bought a spearmint milk and
jeez.
consumed it? It's a kid
5
thing,
years?
isn't it? Adults
5 years?
Adults
Oh,
don't
5
drink-
years.
5 years. Okay, sorry. 5 years.
That's not bad.
No, Nathan was just saying adults don't
I was about to
drink
say
it.
adults don't drink green
Yes, they
milk,
do,
but
yes, they do.
apparently we
Yes, they do.
do.
Spearmint milk. Spearmint milk.
I don't know. I didn't think it was an adult thing. I didn't think that people out there will go, my drink of choice is spearmint milk.
Have we got time to take a call on that?
Hang on, what about...
Yeah, out of news. 13, 24, 10.
Spearmint milk. Come on,
if you're
get
an
around it.
adult, a functioning adult, and your drink of choice is spearmint milk, we'd like to speak to you because I don't know if you exist or not.
You're going to finish the story about...
Yeah,
soccer
Coburn
club?
City. So they've nominated themselves to be a part of the National League in the soccer. So no other Perth team wants to be a part of that. But in the future, what they're hoping is that there will be 2 teams in WA, obviously playing out of
Yes.
here. But then with a second tier division, a national second tier, then the bottom few teams out of the A-League will end up dropping and changing what
Right.
they do in every other comp around the world. So that's the goal for Australian soccer at this point in time. And Fremantle will end up being Coburn, but it could turn into a Fremantle-based team.
I see what you're saying.
Time to catch up with our good friend Stevie Butler. He knows all about sport and soon to know all about the stock market. Good morning to you, Steve.
Steve.
Yes, hello guys. Well, all I can say is that I reckon Emily's former partner might have flipped her the C-bomb.
Well played there, Stephen. Hey, mate, I want to get stuck into the footy before we talk about what you're doing in the next part of your life. Hey, straight away, we're counting down. There's only a couple of days to go before the season gets underway. But I want to ask you about the West Coast Eagles, okay? Adelaide took care of them just last week. Can you see them, and I know a lot of West Coast Eagles supporters will be listening now, can you see them honestly making the finals this season?
Look, from what they're producing at the moment, it's hard to see that. They need to really pull something out of the hat and get some consistency with their senior players in terms of their fitness. But, you know, they get Jack Darling back. I mean, Nick Nui is going to prove a big question mark for them this year. Like, if he can get up and going, I still rate their list. But a lot of it actually revolves around him. And, you know, they haven't got that dominant ruckman outside him, I don't think. And I don't want to see Oscar Allen having to go off and ruck and those sorts of things. So I want to see him become and flourish as a big forward now that Josh Kennedy's gone. But, you know, there's a lot of pressure on Nick Nui to get himself fit and up and about, because he's the one that can really help them dominate and particularly bring some of their new young midfielders through because of his dominance when he does play. But, yeah, I don't know. I've heard a few of their senior players talk that they think they're in pretty good nick. See what I did there? Apart from Nick Nui.
Oh, sorry, wait there. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry.
I'll come around jokes and explain them if you like. Nathan this morning? Or? Yeah, thanks.
Go your bell, mate.
Yeah, I would think they've got everything to prove at the moment, to be honest.
I mean, finals aside, do you think they can get over North Melbourne in round one? That's 1 week.
Yeah, I think they can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think North Melbourne are under a very slow burn under Alistair Clarkson.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be the guru that everyone thinks he is, but you've still got to have the cattle underneath you to be a great coach.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure he's got it there. So I think West Coast can get off on a winning note, yes.
Okay, Steve, the season's starting, as we know. Where are they going to finish realistically in your mind on the table?
Oh, I'm terrible usually at pre-season ladder predictions because I usually like to see how they're playing over a couple of weeks to get a taste. Look, I don't think they can make finals, but if they can get everyone on the park, they can be competitive in most matches they play in. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Their best team is still pretty good.
It's just whether or not you can get your best
it's
team.
just whether they can get them out there and get them out there, and not just get them out there, but get them out there consistently.
Yeah, but there's an age factor, comes into it. I know their best team. I mean, are they good enough to do what Geelong did? Who knows? We'll see. But I'll move on.
Look,
to
I'm not that big on the age factor.
Okay.
If you're on a list, it doesn't matter whether you're 35 or 25. You're there on a list and you've got to play. I'm not going to. I bet you Shannon Hearn will play a good season.
Yep.
I mean, he's one of their older players, so it's not about the age. It's about what you're building to bring through to complement those older players with the experience. I don't think there's any excuses for the older players once they're on the list.
Okay, Fremantle Dockers, do you expect that they will be a top 4 team, or is it a year where it's a consolidation into the finals?
Oh, they could contend for the top 4, I think. I watched them play live last week, and I really liked what I saw. And it's great to see Nat Fyfe doing what he's doing, because only a few weeks ago everyone was saying he's no chance of being a great forward. Now everyone's saying he's going to be a great forward. Now, I mean, you've got to you can't just go with the wind like that with your commentary. You've got to either put it on the line or not. Now, he was playing against a very good defender last week, and I was watching it up close from only a few metres away in the goal square, right behind the goals, watching him play on Tom Jonas, their captain.
Yes,
and he's a very good player, Jonas.
He's a beast.
And Nat was making him look silly at times, particularly with that when the ball was running free into the borderline, he grabbed it and stepped back and then just bananaed one through from about 35 metres. So I thought that was just cool, calm, Nat feeling good about himself again. I think he'd be good down there. I'd still like to see him play a bit in the midfield, obviously, because that's where we love watching the big bull play. But, I really enjoyed what they did. I mean, to have the synergy like you did with watching Shaun Darcy tap that ball down to Sam Switkowski for a brilliant goal. I don't know whether you remember that one, but It was one of the great ruck taps and just smooth. And I think there was a block there by Caleb Sarong as well, which led to it. But there was some nice synergy. I think they're a pretty united team despite the players that they've lost over the last couple of years. And, I think those players who have gone may well rue what they're going to miss.
Sure.
Now, the biggest question of football at the moment, and you just mentioned his name, Shaun Darcy. Is there any? Have we come any further to find out who owns the girls' denim shorts that were found in the back of his car on Friday?
It's been.
Well, they weren't mine.
Steve's wearing.
Do you have
his.
very slender hips though?
He does shop in the same shopping centre as me, though, Big Shawnee.
Does he?
Down there in Invicton, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I see him quite
That's
often
where
in there,
Shaun is.
pottering around.
Yeah, he lives in East Freo.
Yeah, he does.
I tell you what, he does fill an aisle.
He'd fill
a small unit.
He's trolleyed before, wouldn't he?
He
wouldn't be a basket person. I'm a
Well,
basket person when I shop.
if they're only small denim shorts, all I can say is they're not his.
Yes, no. He admitted they weren't his. He just had no idea whose
And
they
he just
were.
broke out into a sweat. So I think he might know whose they are.
Steve, we appreciate your time and you're riding for Bulls and Bears. Just quickly before we let you go.
Yeah, a company owned by Matt Burney, former Liberal leader in Western Australia, and really looking forward to it. It's a bit of a transition into the business side of life, but still using my journalistic skills. So really looking forward to what's ahead and pretty excited about it.
Can't wait for a few tips. Good on you, buddy.
A little something for the battlers, as they
That's
can.
it. That's
We'll
what
only
we're
take
after.
insider tips, though. If you
That's
can
right.
publicly say you'll give them to us right now, yes?
Well, I'm going straight down to the supermarket and I'm going to go into the car park. I'll give you some insider tips from there on the denim shorts.
Hey,
Great,
mate,
great.
I don't want anything to do with your insider tip.
Yes, you do. That's not true. You know that.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.